Now at McDonald's, a McDouble is $2.50, so you can get your gym gains on. Or just get lunch for only $2.50. Get more value on the under $3 menu.
Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Prices may be higher for delivery.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Achtung Millwall. Broadcasting from beautiful South Bermondsey, it's the #1 Millwall podcast. Accept no substitute.
Hello, good afternoon, as I recalled, and welcome, dear listeners, to what is actually the third edition of Achtung Millwall, covering the aftermath of a playoff defeat at home to Hull City on Monday night, 2-0, of course, it finished. And I've had a deluge of voicemails, which I wanted to include in the edition. I've already packed some into the two shows I've put out since the whole game. This will be the third and final edition of the whole coverage. I just wanted to begin by saying, express my appreciation for everyone who's actually appeared on the show and sent me voicemails this season. I really enjoy this part of the show. I think it's a fantastic way to get a wide spread of opinions, different voices, different perspectives. And I know it's popular because people have come up to me when I've been at home or away, to be honest, and said how much they like the show and especially the voicemails. So I do intend to continue on with the format that we've got at the moment next season from August onwards. Don't change it if it's working is the old motto, isn't it? So that's certainly how we'll carry on next year. Championship football. Do you know what? I don't mind championship football. I've always thought that promotion to the Prem, which is the aim, has to be the target. But it's a bit of a poisoned chalice, isn't it, dear listeners? But anyway, we'll save all that up for another time, another place. So yeah, the Championship from August. We will be back as Achtung Millwall across the summertime. Got a few ideas for a few shows to do between now and the start of the new season. But we'll certainly be back from the beginning of the action in August onwards. So I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who sent me voicemails in the aftermath of what's been a very difficult game to process in your head Monday night. I don't know about you, but it's left me feeling pretty deflated. And yet, I also understand that in the Millwall realm, these are the things that we have to contend with. So yeah, as I say, I do have a few ideas for a few shows across the summer, just to stop me from getting bored, really. But the show will return in its usual pomp from August onwards. So now I'm going to take you over to the remaining voicemails. I'm going to play these back to back. I personally have run out of things I can say about Monday night and all that relates to it. I did 2 BBC calls yesterday, and you just find yourself going over the same things over and over. And personally speaking, I think I'm out of ammunition on it now, dear listeners. But I just want to conclude this little opening section with my personal thanks to you, dear listener, for tuning into the show. We generate money which will get donated to the Lions Food Hub. Fantastic cause. That's how we run the show. That's how we're going to carry on running the show until the moment arrives when I no longer feel up to the task. But that's some way off yet. So big thank you to you for tuning in and listening. And we're going to take a short break now, and then we'll go to the voicemails. Stay tuned, dear listeners.
Achtung, Millwall.
Nick, Aussie Dave, phoning in for the last time over the season. What a gut-wrenching defeat. First time in 7 years that 6 has beaten 3. Makes it feel worse. Particularly the players none of them did themselves justice, unfortunately. I won't name any individual ones. The only one thing I want to review on the game, I think it's the first time I've seen Alex Neil actually out-coached. It clearly didn't expect the 3 at the back that Hull changed to from the first leg. And so we had 3 big central defenders all marking now just one Coburn, and he wasn't that effective. And then the 2 wing-backs made a 4-person midfield, which we couldn't get through. And we're just out-coached. But if he had known before and thought about the options, maybe we would have gone 4-4-2, I don't know. And finally, I just thought the game showed 2 problems we've had for the season. One, we don't really have a complementary left winger to go with Aziz on the right, and therefore it makes it a bit easier for teams to defend. And we're really missing either an attacking midfielder or a number 10 who can add goals. I think that was the problem as well. We haven't got enough goals. Let's go on the good side. Great season, a joy to follow with all the anxiety and the highs and lows. And finally, I think this summer break, we'll be thinking about players leaving rather than players coming in, which is totally unusual. And we've got to rebuild. So next season will be intriguing. It may not be as good as the players we get in aren't as good as the players that go out. Anyway, Nick, thanks for having me on. You've got a great show. Really enjoyed listening to all the other guys. And next season, come on, you Lions!
Yeah, Achtung, Millwall, Nick Hart. It's not I'm heartbroken. In the first leg, we fucked it. And this game here, he takes off our left back. And then Arrivederci switches on. I told you Halloumi. Sad season. There you go, Aziz. There you go, absolutely. Do you know what, Nick Hart? It's heartbreaking. The best cross of the night was Jace Cooper, and no end product. No one in the box. Another season championship. I am heartbroken. Hull will be here next season. Don't worry about that, mate. I'm gutted. But we didn't show up tonight. Loving Nick Hart and Millwall. Obviously signing off. See you in the championship.
Hello, Nick. It's Hassan here. It wasn't meant to be, was it? Unfortunately. I think it has to be said, over the two games, probably Hull were the better side. I thought last night they probably deserved it as well. It's not often we say this, but I thought Alex Neil got tactically outmanoeuvred. They set out very well, and we just couldn't get through. Barring a spell in the middle of the first half, we did nothing really. Second half was terrible, really. It's a short way of putting it. They done a number on us. They set out very well, and they do what they do. They score on the break, and that's what's got them in the top six. I'm not going to go through with too many individuals, but it has to be said, the glaring mistake of taking Sturridge off for Doughty. That was a killer blow, really. Substitutes. As soon as we went to 4-4-2 and swapping out Doughty for Sturridge, that was a big mistake in my eyes. I know Sturridge might have been tiring, but I mean, that's criminal. You know, when he came on, you know, one of the first things he did was he was already telling Negley to like mark Bellumi while he was inside. Yeah, and didn't close him down, you know, for that shot, and he's getting a lot of pelters for that. And one has to question his fitness. There's one thing being injured all the time, fine, but the fact that you let yourself go in between injuries is another thing. You're supposed to be a professional football player, and he looks like a pub player. You know, he needs to take a good, long, hard look at himself, you know. It's not his fault we lost the game, of course not. But, unfortunately, him coming on and slotting in that left-back position is a massive contributing factor to us losing the game. After that, we huffed and puffed, and it's, you know what, what's disappointing was, over the two games, some of our big players, they were missing. They were very nervy. I even put Cooper in that bracket. The amount of misplaced passes he's done in the last two games, even last night, you know, he was at fault for the second goal, lost the ball on the halfway line. It's not good, you know, very shaky. Even like Denoy, he had two of his worst games I've ever seen. I don't think he was up to much. If anyone comes out of credit from this playoff campaign, it's probably Sturgeon and Mazzucco. Everyone else was bang average. Very apart from, well, I would say Aziz, but he was quiet for the majority of the two games. But you know what? I'm not going to take a witch hunt. It is what it is. The big question is now, how do we progress from here? You know, do the club keep moving forwards and keep supporting Alex Neil, or do we go back into a shell a little bit and sort of consolidate our position in the Championship for another couple of years? If there's anything positive I want to add to or end to it, is this project that Alex Neil signed up for. I don't believe he was told by Jimmy Berylson, we want promotion within the first year of signing. I don't believe that. This is a 2, 3, maybe 4 year project. So let's just hope that this is just the start of things to come. It's been a great season. Thoroughly enjoyed it. We scored some great goals and some great wins. So it's definitely been a season to remember. Just a shame it ended on a sour note. But that's that, mate. I hope you have a wonderful summer, and we do it all again in August. Cheers, mate.
The biggest thing that he made, Nick, in the second half, second leg, Ajayi from West Brom kept Coburn quiet, number 6, but Ajayi, ex-West Brom and Liverpool Ajayi, they're not game plan, hit us on the break, second half, right, he took off Sturridge, our left back. Alex Hill, that's on you, mate, I'm sorry, we tried, great season, embarrassed by Hull City. Bye for now, Bobby T, see you next season.
Hello, Nick, Mark Willoughby. Just thought I'd call in with a final voice note of the season. Very disappointing last night, of course. I thought that it was the same type of game as we had up at Hull, actually. I went to that one, and like you, I thought when I was watching it there in real time, my version of how we played was different to some of those that saw it on the TV. I thought we were very nervous in the first 10 to 15 minutes. But that aside, I thought we dominated the first half, played some good football. And I was confident that we'd come and go for in the second half and get the goal that I thought we deserved. But obviously, the football gods are not with us again. I can't believe that it's been 8 playoff games in the Championship and never won a single one of them. I've been at most of them. We were less effective in the second half and just seemed devoid of ideas, really, in the final third. It was a very strange night. And Hull, who always looked dangerous over the 2 ties, finally took their chance. And we just didn't respond. And then they, poked in another one. Might have been an error from the goalkeeper, but I don't know. It was a damp squib of a team performance, which is bizarre in such a high-stakes environment. I thought Alex would get a tune out of them because, of his experience, but unfortunately it didn't work out that way. I was particularly disappointed, I might add, the mass exodus after the second goal and how few fans were there to clap the team off at the end. I get that some people might have had to travel and had their reasons, but would those people have stayed if it had gone to extra time? I rather think so. So could they not have stayed to clap the team off, following a magnificent season? A bit disappointing that. A brilliant season of progression for Millwall. Some great memories. Southampton at home sticks in my mind, and we've gorged ourselves on an incredible number of brilliant away performances and wins. I think the boys deserve so many plaudits, like to a man, have given everything, and that's what we love about a Millwall team, and that's why I think we're so joined together, joined up from head to foot of the club, and why I still think that there's great things to come for this team. I said to my son as the players were walking off, I said, "Where's Femi?" And I said, "Because have a look, that might be the last time you see him in a Millwall shirt." And there'll be some changes over the closed season, so let's see what happens there. Silver lining, I do feel deflated. Obviously, I did want to go up to the Prem, but it's a tainted division from my perspective. It's overly dominated by Sky, giving crazy kick-off times and not thinking of the fans. VAR, which is, very controversial and doesn't really do what it's meant to. and getting smashed every week, of course. But I still would have taken it, and it would have been nice. But there we go. We can still dream. And of course, the other silver lining is we're going to get to play West Ham or Spurs for sure next year. So great stuff. Thank you, Nick, very much for your hard work and dedication. So many of us, look for your podcast, and it's part of our Millwall experience and life, and we would be bereft without it. So, we do thank you a lot, but sincerely, and Merv and everyone else that contributes. Great podcast, and very much appreciated. So I hope you and all the listeners have a great summer, and we'll take a deep breath and go again. Come on, you Lions.
Hi, Nick. Well, at the moment and for the next week or so, all of us Millwall supporters are going to be wallowing in disappointment, but that will pass. No doubt social media will be inundated with those that see the dark side, and they will be in full flow, telling anyone and everyone how badly this player or that player played, and advocating which members of the squad should be unceremoniously discarded and for what price. However, let us not forget that Millwall were predicted to finish in mid-table with almost zero chance of winning promotion. And yet we finished in third place, 1 point away from automatic. The club is in year 2 of a 5-year plan, and therefore it is all the more credible that we came that close. Therefore, I think it is entirely appropriate that Alex Neil, the backroom staff, and all of the players are commended on a remarkable effort that gave us one of the best seasons in our history. It is entirely possible that some of the players may not be wearing the lion on their shirts next season for whatever reason, but Millwall Football Club and the Millwall team will not collapse, nor will we go out of existence. Instead, the team will be rebuilt. They will recharge the batteries and will go again next season. And before I sign off, allow me to extend my personal congratulations to you, Nick, for producing a fantastic and entertaining podcast throughout the season. Well done, mate. Onwards and upwards. And for the last time this season, come on, you Lions.
Hello, Nick. Danny here. Just leaving the last voicemail of the season. Don't really want to, but thought I should. Just didn't really turn up, did we? Had a bad feeling when I saw Hull change their formation and change their tactics a little bit. You could see the manager probably figured out to get a result at the Den. We just didn't turn up. First 15 minutes, we didn't look on it. And we had that, I think we had 10 minutes after that where Balla had that shot cleared off the line. But that was about it, really, wasn't it? And then as soon as that Balumi came on, whatever his name is, thought he was quite dangerous in the first leg for Hull, actually. So I'm not surprised he scored. I thought he looked quite a threat. But what happened to our key players? No one was on it. No, the only player I can give credit to over the 2 legs is Sacco. I thought Sacco was brilliant. He was really, reminds me a bit of a Jimmy Abdu. It's calm, great pass of the ball. I don't think I can put another player, maybe Leonard. I thought Leonard did all right. But, oh my God, Negley, and all of them, really. Denor, I was really disappointed with Denor last night. Nothing was just, it's just really poor. And Aziz was nowhere to be seen. It was, I think Alex Neil also got it wrong. I thought the subs were atrocious. I thought Sturge was actually doing all right. There you go. There's another mention. I thought Sturge was playing okay. It was a bit shaky in the first 10 minutes, but got over it. Yeah. And why is Doughty in the team? I think he came on against Oxford, and he looked shit. And I don't know why he was even in that team. Anyway, that's it, innit? That season's done. Good season, but that's why I hate the playoffs. Just it's gut-wrenching, innit? Anyway, let's leave on two positives. I see Bannon's missus had a bit of a meltdown on well, didn't have a meltdown, she's just a bit of a clown on X or Triller. Basically trying to get a move back to Sheffield Wednesday already. All right, see you later. Whatever. And other good news is we're either playing West Ham or Tottenham next season, and it's probably going to be West Ham, I reckon. So there you go. Let's end on a high. Let's enjoy the summer. And thanks, Nick. Again, appreciate all the live broadcasting you do from the den. Voicemails. It's a great show. Appreciate it every year. So cheers, mate. Enjoy the summer. Take it off. And yeah, I guess we go again in August. And let's go for autos, eh? Not doing playoffs again. All right. Thanks, Nick. Bye.
Marvel Television's Wonder Man, an 8-episode series, now streaming on Disney+.
A superhero remake, not exactly what we'd expect from an Oscar-winning director.
Action!
Simon Williams, audition for Wonder Man.
I'm gonna need you to sign this, assuming you don't have superpowers.
I'll never work again if anyone found out.
My lips are sealed.
Marvel Television's Wonder Man. All 8 episodes now streaming, only on Disney+.
Achtung, Millwall.
Hi, Nick Bobby. Walking home now, and I'll be honest with you, Banner should have been earlier, and I'm not going to end it there. Diabolical. Absolute diabolical, if you ask me. Josh Coburn didn't show up. One game of the season, forget the first leg, the second leg, one game at home, favourites. And you can say freeze it or bottle it, but for me, Coburn didn't show up. Diabolical. I keep saying diabolical. It's fucking embarrassing. I told you about Halloumi, and that's it now. Bye for now. Bobby T signing off. Love you all. Heartbroken. Just not good enough. Alex Neil takes off our left back, and we get caught by Halloumi. And I warned you about Matt Brooks. I warned you about, they brought a giant in for a reason. That's it, Nick Hart, Bobby T. Players didn't show up tonight. No fight. We didn't have a shot on target, and Aziz now are going to fuck off. Cramer's going to go. We just got to rebuild now for a championship next season and go again. Bye for now, Bobby T. Love you all.
Hello, Nick. Jim Lettler, mate. Hope you're well. Just a quick message, really. I don't really want to talk too much about last night. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of comments and messages about where it went wrong and blah, blah, blah. But I just wanted to put a message out there, really, to any of the players, anyone at the club, management, directors who might listen to your wonderful podcast, mate. And the message really is just to say thank you. Thank you for one of the best seasons I've had following this football club, and I've been going a long time, like you. Right from the top, from Jimmy or James, through to the management, Alex Neil, thank you. But most of all to the players, they've given us literally all that they've got. We haven't got the best players in the world, but I think we've got a group there that have literally every game almost have just given everything they've got. And I can't understand some of the comments that I've been reading, so I'm going to stay off social media for a bit, I think. A few people around us last night booing them, they were told, shut the fuck up, basically. With Millwall, we'll be back in August. So everyone have a good summer. Nick, you take care and keep your head up. Come on, you Lions.
Morning, Nick. David Liederkramer here on the day after the defeat against Hull. Well, you and I have been supporting the Lions for a long time, and we know what happens in these sorts of games, don't we? I had a horrible feeling when we were playing Hull that they would do a number on us, and I was right. They outthought us, played 5 at the back, and we simply didn't play well enough on the night to secure a win. In one sense, I was less disappointed than the Birmingham loss because we just didn't deserve it, and therefore it kind of didn't feel quite as dramatic as that previous semi-final playoff defeat. Just want to say a couple of things about Alex Neil. I think he's getting quite a lot of criticism for putting Doughty on for Sturridge, who was in fact our best defender. But I do understand why he did it. We were creating nothing. Those around me were shouting for Bannon's introduction, and we looked very, very lethargic. So he wanted to do something. Unfortunately, Doughty didn't follow his instructions, didn't do what he had been warning about all week apparently, and that was not to let Bellumi cut in on his left hand, on the left hand side, and fire a shot across, and that's exactly what happened, and we went 1 down. An uncharacteristic step up by Cooper for the second, and it was game over. It was just a very, very disappointing evening. I can't believe we played 4 championship playoff games at home. We've lost every single one of them, and really we've played, I think it's 8 championship playoff games in all. We've lost 6, drawn 2, which is a terrible sequence, really. As far as next season is concerned, I think we will sell Aziz. I'm sure we promised him we'd let him go in the summer if an offer came in after the Ipswich interest. Quite frankly, I'm not sure he's worth more than 20 million, but that's a personal opinion. I think he is a player that most other teams in the division will like. I think Kramer's a very, very good player as well. But again, might be slightly overrated in terms of transfer value, but we shall see. I'm confident in the recruitment team. I think Bannon was a decent pick-up in January. Patterson played well, and although he didn't do very well for the second goal last night, I think he was a good addition and an upgrade on Crocombe. The only real disappointment was Watson, who I thought didn't really show enough defensively to justify being included and was too lightweight going forward. So it's on to next year. You and I have been through these disappointments, but we will continue to support Millwall through thick and thin, and hopefully next season we can go on and kick on and really, really challenge for the automatics in a meaningful way. It's always raw after a defeat like this, and sometimes it's better to look back on these things with a few days or even a few weeks gap. But at the moment, it feels upsetting, but we'll get over it. We always support the Lions through rain and shine, and we're going to carry on doing that, notwithstanding the result last night, because Millwall's in our blood and it's our team. Come on, you Lions.
Nick Hart, how we doing? Rob Abbott. Just got in my car at Dublin Airport to drive straight to work. Obviously, it's the morning after the Hull City game, which turned into a bit of a nightmare, didn't it? Am I surprised? No. Millwall fan. 40 years. It happens. Yeah. Where should I start? I got on the train at London Bridge to South Bermondsey at like 10 to 7, and the teams were just announced, and I saw we were unchanged. Not really surprised, but I was surrounded by Hull fans on this train, and they were quite critical that their manager dropped Bellumi and Gellart. I asked why. They said, we've got to a back 5. I said, that might work against us to them. And they're like, we shall see. And look, Hull came with a clear game plan to hit us on the transition and stay deep and compact. Their back 5 completely nullified Coburn, because Coburn was superb up there on Friday, wasn't he? They took him out of the game, which meant our link-up play higher up the pitch didn't really happen. As for the game itself, the first 15 minutes we looked nervy. Hull, tried to attack quick when they got the ball. Did they create many chances in that first 15? Not that I recall. We then started to get a foothold of the game, actually, for about 20, 25 minutes. The crowd really come into it, and we maintained a little bit of pressure. Ballo, he's had a weird season, hasn't he? He started the season quite well, and he disappeared completely, and he's come back into it the last 4 or 5 games. And defensively, in his work rate, you can't fault. He does the job, but his attack output is very, very limited. And the first chance come, Aziz, good cross, a bit deeper than expected, but Negley kept it alive, and Coburn competed to knock the ball down to Ballo, and it's been taken off the line, but he's completely scuffed the shot when a decent connection. It might be 1-0, and then 3 or 4 minutes later, another really good Aziz cross. And Pandev, their goalie, has dived to make a save. But again, I think it's Ballo that he's got to throw himself at it. He just sort of sticks a foot at it. But throw your body any touch, and it could go in the goal, but it doesn't. Then, Hull survived that little bit of pressure, and the crowd was on our side, and they killed the game again, and they went close with them. McBurney had a good save by Patterson. And then, Cole Joseph goes down injured just before half-time. That means Balumi comes on for Hull, but 0-0 at half-time, and the game's sort of going how we all expected it to go. A lot of ball Millwall. Hull going to sit on the break. No changes at half-time, and then I thought the first 15 minutes of the second half, we had a lot of ball, didn't we? We didn't create much, but a lot of ball. Hull just going high right to Balumi when they could, but Sturge was having his best game in the Millwall shirt, to be fair. He was immense defensively, one-on-one. And then our first change comes, Ballo for Ivanovic. I personally thought at the time could be a really good change. Go to 4-4-2, try and bring Coburn more into the game. We know Ivanovic is better when he's got a partner up there, but sort of backfired, didn't it? First sub, we didn't get anything going with the 2, and then the strange subs. Sturge, who, like I just said, was playing incredible, gets replaced by Doughty. Bannon for Casper. Casper, I didn't think had a great game. He wasn't bad, but he wasn't the usual self. And a minute after that, we're 1-0 down. Doughty just, I think, complete loss of concentration. I don't know why he didn't go and intercept the ball. The ball was there to just step forward and intercept it, and then we start a counter-attack the other way. He lets Balumi receive the ball, and then he doesn't actually put any pressure on. He's pointing his hand. I don't know why, and then Balumi's scored a nice shot. He's used Doughty as a wall to block Patterson. Nice finish, to be fair. Then, we are now chasing a game of football against one of the best transitional teams in the league, and it just didn't work, didn't it? Like, our shape all went. We couldn't get anything going. Go 2-0 down, we turn over the ball softly. I think it was Bannon, who didn't have a good game at all. Didn't have any influence, turned the ball over a lot, actually. Cooper, I think, has to actually just commit a foul, take the book in there around the halfway line, doesn't, too soft. And they break away, get a shot off. Shot's not the best shot, and Patterson will obviously be disappointed with that, and we're 2-0 down, but it just wasn't happening, was it? I think we had one real good chance. I think Kramer put in a great ball for Doughty, back post. He's fluffed his lines there, but it wasn't to be. And it ended in the worst possible way. I think it was, 87th minute, Kramer gets tackled. It looked bad. He had to go off. So now we've got 10 men for the last 3 minutes plus whatever injury time is. And the game just fizzled out. But look, it wasn't that day. We weren't very good. Credit to the whole manager. He outdid Alex Neil with the tactics. Alex Neil's played a blinder all season, not being critical. It's unbelievable what he's done with his squad. His subs have worked a lot of the times, but yesterday they just didn't work. And he got it wrong. I think everyone in the stadium was surprised to see Sturge come off the pitch. And that's the end of the season. Onwards and upwards. We go again next year and see what that brings. I'm sure there will be people sold. I think we have to cash in on Aziz if we can. 15, 20 million mark. There's interest around Kramer. Hopefully his injury is not that bad and it doesn't put off a potential move for him. And then, we've got to trust Berylson, Gallen, Alex Neil that the money that we recoup, we reinvest it into the squad. A few players we need to get off our books as well, but that's the same every year. And we'll see what the summer brings. I think it's going to be busy. I think we need a little bit more balance in the squad because if you look back at it, it's unbelievable how we've played the season with effectively just 2 centre forwards. We've played the season with 2 centre backs, really, because you can count Kramer as being a right back. I think he's played a lot better for us playing in the right back area. So we need to get the balance right. We might need some championship ready players, but then we need some gems as well that we might not know who they are, but we've got to be a bit patient with them because we've seen over this year how good Negley is as a footballer. He's been absolutely superb, and hopefully we can keep him because there's a lot of good players at this club. We could really build a team around Taylor, Sturge, Derek, Negley, and Coburn. That's a great spine. And we go again. I've waffled on a bit here, Nick. 8 minutes. I'm sure you're going to get a lot of voicemails in today. They're all going to have the same theme. A bit disappointed, but overall, what a season. Absolutely loved it. My last point is, living overseas. I've made 18 games this year. There's been ups and downs. The down, obviously, major down last night, but I was at Birmingham away midweek in November and we lost 4-0. I was at Blackburn in December when it was embarrassing performance, but there's been loads of incredible moments throughout the season. Met loads of people that I socialise with on social media. It's good to meet them, chat with loads of different Wall fans from all over the place every time I'm over. And then obviously great to see my family when I attend the games. But thank you very much for everything this year. The podcast, obviously absolutely love it. Love the people you get on to chat to, Harry, etc. Love listening to everyone's opinions, and have a great summer. I'll chat with you soon, and hopefully see you in August when we begin.
Hi Nick, Craig from Costell Dawlish. I think it's easy to say I'm probably going to sound like everyone else that's sending you a message this week, but I'm just gutted. We won't go into too many of the technical parts. I think there'll be a lot of people that will talk over the same things. Doughty being a fat pisshead, Bannon's wife kicking off on Twitter, and how we were tactically outfought and also on the pitch being outfought and just no luck going away. But we know who performed well for us. We know who basically got marked out of the game. I just want to be more reflective and think how proud we should be as well. I'm disappointed for everyone at the club for getting this far. Yeah, we can go into the fine minutiae of we shouldn't have dropped points against Blackburn because of the ref. We shouldn't have dropped points against Oxford away. We shouldn't have dropped points against Portsmouth or Leicester as well. And how we just seem to struggle against teams below the bottom. It's the Championship. We finished on third by merit, and I think having automatic so close to us probably did play on the players' minds a little bit. And to even finish third, and I think this is the highest we have finished in the Championship since 1994, says a lot. But yeah, still proud of the team and proud of how far we've come, how we managed to get through that horrible period in the season where we had barely any midfield, if at all. The amount of injuries we've had, and we still finished third in the league, says a lot about the character of the team. I'm disappointed as well because, I would love to take my son to Wembley. That would have been brilliant, but he's only 6 years old, and to be fair, he's for a 6-year-old Millwall fan, he's pretty spoiled. He hasn't gone through that much heartache yet in his life, and there'll be many more days of heartbreak, I'm sure, to come for him as he gets older. But we're all a bit long in the tooth, aren't we? And I think how I thought I was lucky that when I started supporting Millwall, we got to a playoff semi-final against Derby, and that went swimmingly, didn't it? But yeah, it's just, I'm proud of the team. I'm disappointed, and I think even hearing Alex Neil talk in the post-match, and he sounded how I felt, absolutely gutted. But let's just take a rest for this season, and it's going to be all change. It's scary because we don't know what's going to be coming over the summer or the pre-season, but live in hope. I'm a glass half full kind of person, and I'm going to feel a bit sorry for myself for a few days, and then pick ourselves up for the World Cup, and then come on, it's a championship. We can, it's a bonkers league, and who says it? You know what, I'm going to say it. We're going to finish top of the league next season. There, I've completely lost the plot. Cheers as well, Nick, and everyone that's contributed to Achtung this season, and have a good rest for the summer.
Achtung, Millwall.
Sorry, Nick, I've got to end this because I'm angry, right? A team who finished fucking sixth, 10 points behind us, and they go up. They're not going to go up. Southampton's going to beat them cunts, Hull Tigers. But they wanted it more. I'm sorry. We didn't turn up. We didn't show anything. Not a shot on target. First up here is Aziz. So that's embarrassing to lose to them. I am going to sign off for the last time, Nick Hart. Love you all. Great podcast, Bobby T.
Hi, Nick. It's Matt. That wasn't even close, was it? What a sad end to a great season. Just feel a bit numb, really. That's after they scored. It just, I don't know. In my mind, it's just going for in slow motion, really. I've seen this. I've heard this song before. Just felt like that. Just felt like Blackburn, and don't know. Just it's just a signal, really, that we never gave it a go, did we? Really? Didn't seem to, where we froze or whatever, nerves on the night. They did a number on us, attacked us from the start, and we just weren't in it. Can't think of any chances we created in the second half, and it's just I've been here before, and it just doesn't make it easier though. It's been a really good season. You can't say anything different to that, really, but what a way for it to end. It's just wasn't even close. No tension, nothing. Out with whimper. So long, 25-26 season. Come on, you Lions.
Nick, it's Lawrence Binney calling in after Mill 0, Hull 2. I really don't envy you having to do the show, and I know you will do because you're dutiful when you're on a bounce. And I'm loath to bring up my last message and your feedback from it in the last message. And I think you weren't sceptical. I think you were very level-headed and even-handed about some of us disagreeing with your appraisal of that game, the first leg. But there was something about that first leg, I think, that really rankled in some of us who are more critical. I think, it's not very often that we have that much possession. But what is quite predictable is that we had that much possession and we don't create many opportunities. Maybe it wasn't so much of an opportunity lost, more like we lost a tactical battle in that game and we've never really recovered it. Hull went 5 at the back tonight. They dominated the first 10 minutes without creating much, but we didn't have it. We didn't have any mojo about us tonight. We passed the ball well at times. We got the ball into good areas, but there was, I don't know, it's like the players that we usually rely on to create that bit of quality, just it's not been there at all. I love Femi. I think he is, on his day, a £20 million winger, but tonight he looked distinctly average, and he has done, to be fair, he has done in the big games this season. Southampton aside, he's not really looked at it. There was something about the atmosphere. I think there are a lot of preconceptions we had, I think, about Millwall sides tonight that were, I don't know, I think were shattered somewhat in the cold light of day. There was an idea, maybe a desperate hope, perhaps, that we would turn up the atmosphere tonight, and as we did against Huddersfield and Wolves, and in those big moments, and it just didn't happen. I think we've moved on. The game has moved on. Our crowds are bigger, and our crowds are less quiet, or less loud. More quiet. There wasn't any sustained pressure. I don't know what that is. I don't know if that's cultural, generational, but yeah, it's a sort of sense, a wistfulness almost, like those days, the raucous atmosphere of the Den is disappearing. Maybe it won't ever come back, It was a rarity in 2010 when it happened for the Huddersfield game. And it just never really reached any kind of consistency tonight, despite the lads needing it. There's going to be a lot of talk, I think, about us bottling it. And I think that's fair enough. I do think that our better players, our players of quality in the final thirds, just didn't happen for them. But tactically as well, tactically in terms of, kind of getting us to be on the front foot, to get behind the whole defence, to pin them back, never happened. To get the crowd on our side, to have us kind of pin their players back vocally, it never happened. It's been a great season, but it's not really quite there. And I kind of felt it in the final third of the season. I remember being very negative about getting second place. Repeatedly after a negative result, saying we weren't good enough, and I just don't think we are good enough. I think we're about as good as Hull. We're a decent sixth place team. They did outplay us tonight, but they got the moments right. And we got the moments right sometimes, like Borough away, like Hull away, but we didn't get them right tonight when it mattered. We're a decent top thirds team, or top quarter team, and no more than that. And it's on Alex to see if we can match that or go on better next season. Great season, don't get me wrong, fantastic. All the credit to everyone, Mark Firebrother, Gallon, Alex Neil, the players, but yeah, it feels almost apt tonight that we've just fallen short, and we kind of felt like we bottled it. That kind of feels appropriate. Just not really good enough, really. But you know what? Hats off to them. Great season, disappointing end. Let's see what happens next season, mate. Come on, you lads.
Morning, Nick. Just Adam Wicks here, just leaving my thoughts after last night's painful 2-0 loss at home to Hull City in the playoffs. It's quite a lot to sort of unpack. For me, I just really feel over the two legs, Hull just did a really professional a really professional number on us. And I think that, they almost played like the away team in both legs, which plays to their strength. So they played a game they wanted to play. And I think on reflection, it looks to me like we were trying to play football that doesn't really suit us to a degree. I don't want to get into being too critical, because the players have given us everything over the season, and they've just fallen, really short at a second to last hurdle when, they really needed to keep their heads and their composure, and we've just done that classic Millwall thing of not turning up, for a big game or an occasion, and just allowing the game to drift, not taking any real charge of it, and then reacting really badly when we go 1-0 down. I think it was complete head loss from a lot of the team after that point. Just mistakes and desperation obviously crept in, but there was still a long way to go. And I think the goals were very, very poor that we let in. We've subs have been made. We've given one of their best players the freedom of the right to put a really good goal away, but he should never have had the space he had, and it's disappointing. And then to then just give them a second goal through just trying to keep the ball in when the sensible thing to do was just reset, is a bit beyond me. It's very, very disappointing. But that being said, I think the vast majority of the squad have given us everything and more. There are some serious talents within this team. Some will be with us next season, and some no doubt will have moved on. And there's some players within the squad, I think, that have come to the end of their time with us. Again, some I would say probably be the right time to move on and freshen things up, and others I think it's disappointing that the club haven't managed to tie down, and I think we're going to be worse off for it. But there's a long summer ahead. I'm certainly feeling at this point like I'm glad of the break. And let's see. Let's see. There'll be a plan in place to push forward and develop. But I think across the board, from the players to the manager, they've done really well. They've I think there's a lot for them to reflect on from last night that they could all improve on. I think especially Alex Neil's got so much right this season, got so many of his substitutional changes right, and it just felt like they all went wrong yesterday. But you roll the dice so many times, eventually it's not going to come up in your favour, is it? So I wish everyone an amazing summer, have a great break, and let's see what next season brings. Come on, you Lions.
Hi Nick, it's Martin Colwell. Well, Monday evening we turned up, didn't we, the crowd? Everyone turned up, but the team didn't turn up, did they? I thought it was a dreadful performance. I thought it was all over the place. I thought that the only really good player was Zach Sturge, and he somehow got substituted second half for that very slow footballer Alfie Doughty, and they scored made 2 goals down that wing, didn't they, when he went off? I thought Zach Sturge had the winger in his pocket, really, and then for some reason Alex Neil took him off. I know he does take him off and bring in Alfie Doughty, but that was the end of that, really. But to be fair, we could be there to the weekend waiting to score a goal, couldn't we? We just didn't look like scoring a goal. I think they had one that was scrambled near the line off, but other than that, thought we got bashed up in the first half by Hull. They came out and they were very on it and they were knocking us back. I didn't think Hull were a particularly good team, but they were much better than Millwall. And, you know, it's a fair scoreline, really. They could have had more, really, couldn't they? But yeah, and then we got into it a bit, didn't we? We got going, what was it, after about 20 minutes? And Femi Aziz had a little spell, and I think he was, to be honest, Femi Aziz was missing all the game apart from that little spell. I forgot he was playing the second half. I know I'm being negative, but I just didn't really see him kick the ball. Couple of things I might have tried. I think that we could have changed Ryan Leonard and Tristan Kramer over, so we had a bit more. Tristan Kramer could join up with Femi Aziz, and we had a bit more pace down that wing, because Ryan Leonard has lost his pace, hasn't he? So he can't get down the wing. And, you know, I thought he struggled really to have any impact in terms of an attacking threat at all down that wing. And as I say, I think Femi Aziz was completely missing the second half. But yeah, the killer was taking Sturge off, I think. But as I say, I think if we kept a clean sheet, it would have been 0-0 and we would have gone into extra time. And then I thought that maybe it was a game to add a bit of energy, bring on Macaulay Langstaff, because I don't think Ivanovic has done much really for a long while. And I think he just stood up there really, didn't he? He was just like, I said to you on Monday, he was a passenger, and I thought he came on and was a passenger again last night. And, you know, things like bringing on Luke Cundle, I don't know what the point of that was at the end. I mean, what's Luke Cundle going to do, you know? Perhaps, you know, we could have gambled and, as I say, done that Leonard Crumer change and then put Tommy Watson on and maybe let him have a little run, because Tierno Balla works hard, but he's not the greatest, is he? You know, and I think he's on a loan and I don't think he's worth buying at all. And done that, but I thought it was a negative plan from Alex Neil. I'm not going to knock Alex Neil because he's had a great season, but I thought he got it wrong last night. But there you go. We've got the summer off now, haven't we? And, you know, we can see who stays. I think Barry Bannon will journey back to Sheffield Wednesday. Now they've got new owners. They'll buy him back for a season or two. I think Femi Aziz and Tristan Kramer is, I know they got in the team of the season, but I don't know whether recently they've lost value, you know, in terms of what we could sell them for, because I think they've both tailed off a bit, to be honest, you know. But we'll see about that. But I think the loans all need to go back and we need to start again. Get a kind of a Zach Sturge type right back to play, because I think Ryan Leonard has probably had his day now and needs to go. But we'll see what happens. We'll no doubt have discussions about that in the summer. But anyway, enjoy the summer, enjoy the break, and see you all again in August. Bye for now.
Hello, Nick. Simon Moorcroft here. I'm a long-time listener of the show and prefer to actually listen to it rather than contribute to it, but had a real sense that I needed to phone in with my version of events of what I witnessed last night, out of therapy more than anything else, because I'm still stunned this morning, really. You know, I think it's very sort of on brand for Millwall fans to be cynical and say, oh, well, did we really want to get promoted? Who cares? Did we really think we were going to win? But no, I honestly do think, personally, but also amongst my friends and family and a wider sense of the Millwall community, that there was a real belief that we were gonna do it this time, break that hoodoo, however you want to frame it. And yeah, we came up short. I think how I would sum it up is that I was there early last night at the ground, and it is a sight to behold how far the club has come over the just over 40 years of supporting I've been doing. And yeah, I think there was, from the commercial team who were out and about around the ground, making sure everything was set up for the big occasion. I think they were ready. James Burleson himself making a public appearance in Harry's Bar. I certainly think he was ready. But yeah, as the great Michael Buffer, I think, says before the big fights, the biggest fights in the world, is that, you know, the fighters, were they ready? I don't think the fighters were. I don't think neither ourselves nor Hull City were ready, to be honest. On balance, the two legs weren't a great spectacle for the Championship, I don't think. And yeah, let's be honest. Good luck to Hull City, but yeah, they're awful. I don't expect them to win unless they get a stroke of luck like they did last night. For instance, you know, their number 10 who scored the first goal, he wasn't going to be on the pitch at that time. He didn't start the match, despite being a threat in the first leg. They put Joseph on, who come back from injury, and yeah, that wasn't a tactical masterstroke by their manager. I think he's bang average, to be honest. He was forced to put the number 10 on. And yeah, so that's how I'd sum last night up in the sense of what the difference was between the two teams was just a couple of substitutions. One went obviously in Hull's favour and one went against us. I thought it was a terrible substitution to bring Doherty on for Sturge. Even Alex, by his kind of own admission, said he doesn't like to bring subs on that early. So yeah, I think he's got to not so much take the blame there, but that did backfire because I think Sturge would have had the number 10 in his pocket, to be quite honest. I think he didn't play his best game for us by no stretch, but I thought he was playing okay. But I'm sure other fans who were there saw things differently. You know, we all see things through a different lens. Yeah, it's funny though, like the players were just a shadow or shell of their selves. They all put in, like Aziz put in a cameo midway through the first half, but nothing more than that. I got a sense that, you know, like I said, we were ready as a fan base. The noise, the atmosphere at the start of the match was amazing, and it was really a 12-man atmosphere. But Hull quickly set about on the front foot and quelled the excitement. And then things, you know, I certainly think by half time the tension was really palpable, as I think the commentators say. And into the second half, we were really, as a crowd, as a voice of force, quite stifled. Just like the team on the pitch, they were stifled, all looking at each other to see who'd step up, and yeah, nobody did. But anyway, enough of that. I think the only other, a few other points I want to make instead of rambling on is that I've seen a lot about Barry Bannon. You know, like I said, I don't want to blame Doherty for the first goal. I don't want to blame anyone, really. I don't think it's a time for scapegoats. And so, yeah, nonsense that Barry Bannon's to blame for last night. Yeah, he didn't have a great... He didn't come on and affect the game in an amazing way, in a very positive way. But yeah, individual errors cost us, and overall the reason why we didn't win the game, because the players just, for some reason, weren't up for the big occasion, in my opinion. But as I was walking back to New Cross Station, I thought I'd take the long way home, through Coldblow Lane, the tunnels, along Sanford Road, through the Forden Park. I thought to myself, what's the difference between the Derby County playoff, the Birmingham City playoff, and now this one? And I think reasons to be cheerful and positive is that, well, one, they didn't, although they all ended, those two ended in failure, they didn't end in riot. They didn't end in that disruption and, utter chaos. and an aftermath that was all over the front pages or back pages of the papers for the wrong reasons. So that's one distraction that the club don't have to deal with in preparation for next season. But also, I honestly believe, despite not maybe having the Stephen Reeds, the Tim Cahills, and some of the players in the Mick McCarthy era, individual stars, we have a much better squad, I think, and we are set up as well as a club much, much better than ever before. The Burleson family are not shopkeepers like Mr. Pathetis, so they're not stock keeping all the time and running things to the bone. So if I think we can keep this squad together, although the squad from the Birmingham City playoff were together the following season and didn't follow up the achievement and fell just short of the playoffs in the following season. I think what's different next season for us is that, if we can maybe lose one or two, if Femi goes, good luck to him. I think Tristan deserves a move as well. Actually, on Tristan, though, I hope he isn't too badly injured. I almost got a sense for a second, though, that he just couldn't wait to get off the pitch, to be honest. I don't think it's as bad as it is, but we'll see. But anyway, not I want to see the back of him, but if we can get a bit of money in, bring in, the recruitment that we've done has been pretty good to date. Like we've got a much better recruitment system, I think, than ever. It's much more organised, much more, targeted and sensible and stuff. So, if we can keep this team together for another season, they'll remember this pain, they'll remember this heartache, and they'll come back stronger, just like we did in, losing to Scunthorpe back in the 2010s in the League One playoff final, and losing again to Barnsley in the playoff final mid-2010s as well. So I think that might help them on the big occasion next year when it comes. Step up this time and actually achieve the greatness. Anyway, thanks for all the content, everybody, not just you, Nick, but thanks for being the fulcrum of content, promoting the club positively, giving the fan base, the characters that are at our club, a voice to represent our club in the way it should be represented. And happy holidays to everybody. Enjoy your summer. Plenty of cricket to be had if you're anybody's cricket fans out there. So I'll be taking some of that in to pass the time. And come on, you Lions.
And one more time, Nick, I'm sorry I can't end this because I'm just actually passionate. I wanted to say a whole review of this. If we can't beat Hull over 2 legs, and then next season, not a new team, Tristan ain't hanging around, Aziz ain't hanging around. He done fuck all tonight, Aziz. To be honest with you, more than as usual. If we can't beat Hull, just think next season the top of West Ham come down. You're going to be mid-table. Alex Neil, you've done a good job, Alex Neil. But you got it wrong when it fucking mattered. Taking Sturridge off and putting Doherty. Doherty fell asleep, boom, blew me. It's sad. I'm gutted. Fucking fuming. Bobby T, see you next season. Fucking bottled it. Shambolic.
When I was a little boy, I asked my mother, what will I be? Will I be Arsenal? Will I be Spurs? Here's what she said to me.
Who do you want to watch?